Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. What a weird, strange day is going on. If you've been online at all, I don't know how anyone could miss it. According to several people, the world is coming to an end. I think even Alex Jones posted something about that everything's collapsing. We'll get to that here in just a minute. Stick with me because some of you are, I'm sure, have a lot of opinions to say about it. Some other things going on in the news. Iran has announced that they are now the 8th nation to have been able to to reach the technological level with nuclear energy to be able to complete a full cycle of producing nuclear energy, which I'm sure is just going to go really great with Israel and even the United States when it comes to potentially taking their facilities out. So there's that. That's kind of a big deal. Larry Fink from BlackRock has said that by later on this year, we should start seeing inflation shoot up because of all the tariffs. That it is going to happen. So just deal with it, right? There was some other things in the news. I knew I would probably forget a few of the important things that I wanted to talk about. But, you know, I mean, there's the big things. Russian ambassador has said that Russia knows that the United Kingdom and the United States were, in fact, involved somehow in these attacks on Russia from Ukraine. That's not just that Ukraine is just doing it on their own. I don't know if they're just talking. Do they have some actual evidence to, show that? If they do, if it's discovered that the United States and United Kingdom were kind of involved, which a lot of people suspect already, that would be a really big deal because tensions are rising very fast there. So there's that. Probably the biggest thing, though, in the news that everyone's anticipating me saying something about is the big breakup. In case you've been living under the rock and you haven't been online in the last 24 to 48 hours, it appears that the relationship, the buddy-buddy between Donald Trump and Elon Musk is now done. Even to the point now that it's some serious mudslinging going on. Now, before I get into what's happened, or at least what it appears has happened, let's remember that this relationship between them really is fairly new. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it was sometime after Donald Trump supposedly got his ear shot off. Okay? I think it was sometime after that, that all of a sudden him and Elon became real good buddies. Elon Musk dumped hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe, at least 100 million or more, into Donald Trump's campaign. And it was like overnight, Elon Musk was everywhere Donald Trump was. Everywhere. Right next to him. Then after he became president, it was the same way. Every time you saw Donald Trump, Elon Musk was there. And I'm pretty sure I said early on, we'll see how long this relationship lasts. But anyways, so that's been going on. And, I know that there's not any real solid evidence that it's greatly benefited Elon Musk financially. His companies have lost value, has gained some of it back, but then today he's losing it again. So who knows? I think it's all a big staged event. I think that, Elon Musk is a big transhumanist. I've never trusted him. I wouldn't necessarily call Donald Trump a transhumanist, but I think he is open to entertaining that. He probably doesn't even know what it really means. He just thinks it's a good money-making thing to have all this advanced technology. So there's that. Anyway, so let's get on with what happened today, or what's happened the last couple of days. Elon Musk started off by strongly criticizing this big, beautiful bill. And that has surprisingly made a really strange divide among conservatives and pro-Trump people. a lot of people that I wasn't expected to see have come out in supporting the big beautiful bill, saying that it's not pork spending just because it's 1,100 pages and it's trillions of dollars in spending. It actually is good and all this, even though there's really strong indication and proof that there is a lot of extra spending in it. Like with any bill, it also has the AI thing in it that I've talked about, where it protects it and spends a bunch of money on it and makes it a big federal government kind of thing that no one can regulate except them, all that kind of stuff. And so he's been criticizing that. Several other Republicans were firing back online, and then at some point Donald Trump did also, and then that's when it started to become kind of personal between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And Elon Musk has called it, the bill, made fun of it, said that it needs to go. Then finally Donald Trump fires back saying that Elon Musk is crazy, that he's known this for a while. Just a few days ago, Donald Trump was defending Elon Musk, saying that, there was that drug use was not happening while he was there, and he's a good guy, and we're great friends and everything. Well, now it's completely reversed. He's saying that he's known for months that Elon Musk was falling apart and losing it. And then he went on to, after calling him crazy, said that maybe the government needs to cancel all their contracts with all of his companies. Elon Musk has said that there needs to be a third party. And then finally, the thing that I saw just before I started this is that Elon Musk said that he knows for a fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's the reason why they're not being released, which is almost exactly what so many people have been speculating. Now, even Donald Trump said that a long time ago, that, yeah, he was probably in the Epstein files simply because he claims, only once ride on Epstein's plane, but didn't go to the island and didn't have anything else to do with him. There are a lot of pictures of him and Epstein. They were like neighbors and best buddies back in the 90s and stuff. Who knows? But it's now getting kind of dirty, right? And it looks like things are just... well, it's overshadowing everything, number one. Nothing else is going on in the news, apparently. Just this online fight between the two of them. But I think it's fake. I think it's probably about as orchestrated as the little tuffle between the president and Zelensky in the Oval Office, if you remember that a few weeks back. And I think it's also probably about as fake as the president and the South African president a couple of weeks ago. I think it's orchestrated, and I think it's meant to distract. I would not be surprised in the next coming days if we don't see some type of major escalation, either with Iran or Russia, because this is distracting everyone from it. I think the bigger thing is, and I could be way, way off on this one, I'll admit, because it's just my own personal speculation. And I've talked about this a little bit throughout a lot of different videos, that the people that are really pulling the strings behind the curtains, and it's not Donald Trump or Elon Musk or anyone like that, but the people that are really pulling the strings, they want everything to be chaotic. They want it to look worse and worse. They want it to look like things are just falling apart. They want both political parties and both political leadership to look incompetent and unstable. We got that obviously with Joe Biden, and now we're getting that with Donald Trump. Now, before you get upset with me, you may not think that, but the left does. Just like when Joe Biden was president, the left thought it was great, and we thought it was unstable and incompetence. But the point is that they're trying to push that. Look at Congress. They can't get anything done. They're completely incompetent. All areas of the government is inefficient and incompetent. And I think that is part of the plan, is to continue. I mean, it is biblical, the chaos, the confusion. And I think the reason for why they're doing this is because they need a reason to convince you that it's okay to have things like artificial intelligence running the show. Because AI is not emotion-based. AI will make logical decisions and be able to think faster and more clearly and more completely than any human, because they don't just have your knowledge and experience, it has all knowledge and experience, basically. And it's able to make decisions in a fraction of a second. And it's fair because it's not fair based on this person's opinions or this person's opinions. It's neutrally fair. And that's what I think they're going to try to do. Now, I don't think that there's going to be one day at some point in the future where they just, today we're flipping the switch and now AI is running everything. It will be gradual, but it will be noticeably picking up speed. AI may be running the elections, doing the counting. AI may be helping you choose who the next two to vote for in the next president. It'll be running different departments in government. It may be running the media because it's unfair and unbalanced. It will be running the military because it's able to make logical decisions and not based on emotion. It will be running our education system and the healthcare systems, and little by little by little by little until you wake up one day. And if there are any humans involved in government, they will just mostly be kind of a go-between between the people and the computer systems. They will be almost like a liaison, but not really the ones in charge. And I think that that's what we're seeing. Remember that other than fringe people like myself, there's no one in either side of the government that is speaking out really, truly about the dangers of all of this technology. Most people in high levels of government, not just the United States, but around the world, on both political sides, are at their heart very transhumanistic. They're for having digital everything and digital surveillance and digital IDs and digital, biometrics and, microchips in your body and AI controlling it and robotics and. And so it's like it's the small few of us that are truly awake to see what's going on, and the rest of the world is either asleep and doesn't care, or is adamantly and aggressively pushing this stuff, regardless of what side of the fence that they're on, regardless of what religious belief they have. It doesn't matter. They see this as a benefit. And so this stuff that's going on right now, it is chaotic. It is bad. I don't know where it's going to end up. You've got the leader of the most powerful nation on the planet that has a very big ego. And you have the most wealthiest and one of the most powerful people on the planet that has a big ego fighting each other. And there could be a lot of collateral damage, We've got several nations right now that are willing to go to an economic or trade or a conventional war against us. And they've seen 4 years of ridiculousness and incompetence. They've seen 6 months or so of chaotic back and forth, push, shove, strangeness, inconsistencies, and then now they see this. And if I were a Vladimir Putin and a Xi Jinping and a whatever his name in Iran and a Kim Jong-un and maybe a few others sitting around a big old dinner table talking, I'd say, this might be the best opportunity for us to move in. We've got years of chaos. We've got a military that, while there's been a lot of recruitments this year, they admit themselves that they don't have enough ammunition and munitions to, do any kind of large-scale, long, drawn-out war. If we can just drag it out for a few months, they'll run out of equipment. The leadership on every level is either very new, never done a job like that, or it's just chaotic and all over the place. And if I were a foreign adversary, I would think this has to be one of the best times to jump in and take this big beast of the United States down, because they might be able to do it. That's not necessarily going to happen. But the worse and more chaotic things seem here, the easier it is for other things to kind of step in unnoticed and cause lots of disruptions, because people out there take advantage of that. How many people are in Washington, D.C. that are there to infiltrate the government, whether it's left or right? And now watching this, it'd be a perfect time to make a move. How many cells out there in the United States exist so that at some point they will activate and cause destruction or chaos or just, riots or whatever? Right now, things are pretty chaotic, and it might be a good time to just slip right in unnoticed and cause some real damage. I'm not saying these things will happen, and I do believe what we're seeing online is orchestrated to a certain extent, at the very least. But when you've got two people that are perceived by the public and the world in that high and powerful of a position having very serious breakdowns, it's not good. And I think that's the point. It's time we get our houses in order, folks. Things are very, very unstable right now. And I don't think we have any clue of what's coming around the next corner. You need to be getting yourselves prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.